Wouldn't you know it? The Red Sox go out and have one of their better wins of the year. Wouldn't you say, Mazz?
Yep, definitely. Interesting how that happens.
That's what Lou Merlone said there on the call there on Nesson. They get to one of the best starting pitchers in the league. What's his name again?
Senga.
With that ghost forkball, or what do they call that thing?
Yeah, Kodai Senga. Something like that. I mean, he's pretty good. He's pretty consistent. His ERA this year going into the game was 1.02.
It's a cool pitch, though.
Yeah.
God, what do they call that? Hold on. Now I got to know what they call that. It's not a ghost slider. It's the ghost. It's a ghost something, Mazz. Ghost fork. It's his ghost fork. It's cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
It stops spinning and cool pitch. Yeah, but they get to him early by putting the bat on the ball.
Yeah, exactly. That first inning is especially
interesting. Then they played defense and executed on the mound late in the game.
Yep, pretty simple concept, right? They haven't won many games like that this year, 3-1. Again, because typically they have to hit to win. They didn't. This one was about manufacturing a couple of runs and then relying on your pitching, playing pretty good defense. And I'll even say that the double play to end the game, that little side flip from Hamilton, I don't think Christian Campbell can do that.
Really?
I don't think he's there yet.
Just not instinctively can't make a little play like that?
No, I think he'd have to throw it overhand and turn, and it's more deliberate. He just hasn't had enough experience over there, and he might not have sort of the what's the right word, the nuance for it. Hamilton's able to do it with a little bit of velocity, little side flip, and I think that was kind of key to turning that double play because the ball wasn't super hard to hit. So they had the right guy playing second. Campbell's now missed 2 games in a row, by the way.
You say missed or?
Well, I say missed. Hasn't played.
He's been sat.
Yes, he has been sat because he has been wretched and offensively. And look, I sort of agree with Cora's assessment on this one, which is he's a rookie. He's played a lot, and they're going to make adjustments, and the game's going to wear him down. So I'm like, do I think the kid now sucks? No, I don't. But he needs a break is what I think it is. And in the interim, go with the guy who's playing better defense. This is another reason why I want Campbell at first base, but that's an aside. The fact that they played better last night, I'm telling you, I look at it and say, why?
Why?
I do.
A manager that was paying attention for a night?
Or that, and also maybe they just need a new fresh voice in there. And I'll say exactly what I said yesterday. I don't think Alex Cora is going to get fired. They've invested too much money to fire him after 50 games. Okay, they got 2 more years on the hook and the rest of this one too. So it's really almost 3. I just don't think there's any chance. But right now they look like the kind of team where the manager would typically get fired. After he's been there for 5 years and they played 500 baseball with a payroll combined of $1 billion.
Was it that maybe, or like fresh voice for a night, or is it also not to make this too much about the Mets? But if you're paying even half attention, they have been kind of reeling as of late, and Mets fans are ripping their hair out, and they feel like Juan Soto might be a bad fit because he's miserable there. It seems,
and shaking it out of the box.
Yeah, that too
happened again last
maybe.
night. Just following up on this because I did cut and paste this stuff. The Sox are the first team this year to get 3 runs on Senga. Duran and Trevor Story both got RBI hits against Senga's ghost fork, which batters were just 0.85 against this year, which I can see. It feels nasty.
Yeah.
So the Red Sox did a good job last night, but not been good recently. And Pete Abraham of the Boston Globe is the latest to say changes have to come. Like there's just, firing a man. Again, in a bygone era, you'd be talking about the manager more than you are now. It doesn't really happen now like it used to. You used to immediately look at the manager. We don't live in those times anymore. But we do live in times where you still get hot and bothered about prospects, and you got a couple sitting there in the minors, and you could bring them up and give the team a whole different look, a whole different feel, give it a jolt, and see if that wakes them up, gives them that spark that they need. They're clearly lacking something that sort of pushes them over the threshold. Because as Pete Abrams has said, it's been apparent to all of us, they're less than the sum of their parts. The headline is, if the Red Sox don't make changes now, they could be left out in the cold during the postseason. He says, with the season a third over, the 24-25 Sox rank as one of the biggest disappointments in baseball. A jumble of useful players who haven't fit together well. The odd part is that the players who were acquired in the offseason, Bregman, Buehler, Chapman, Crochet, Navarez, Justin Wilson, have all performed well. But the Sox are struggling to get over 500. He says before it's too late, they need to act decisively and change the look and functionality of the roster. It starts with shortstop Trevor Story, Mazz. He hit 4th, 5th, or 6th in 44 of the first 49 games this season with a .618 OPS and 8 extra base hits. That's it. His 59 strikeouts lead the American League. He says that Story has a .676 OPS over 208 games since he joined the Sox. Releasing him would cost $70 million, a big hit for ownership to take. But how long can it justify starting Story every day with Marcelo Mayer at the AAA level? And what is the cost of missing the postseason for the 4th year in a row? If nothing else, Story needs to hit lower in the order or be used off the bench. He says Story has been a first-class teammate and person since he signed, and injuries have taken a toll. But how long are the Sox supposed to wait for him to hit? It's been 4 years. In 2018, by comparison, the Sox opened the season with Hanley Ramirez at first base. He started strong, then fell into a slump, and was designated for assignment on May 25th. He was released a few days later. It cost the team $15 million, but the message was sent that the Sox were about winning first. That's something that needs to be heard again this season. Your thoughts on Story and that whole, history lesson there with Hanley Ramirez?
Yeah, so to me, thank goodness someone else finally noticed. I think Trevor Story, when he has played, has sucked for 4 years. He really hasn't been good. I've said this over and over and over again. And you want to hit him at the bottom of the lineup on a team that can win? Fine, no problem. Take his defense. He'll hit you a few home runs at the bottom. No problem. You hit for him in the late innings. Unfortunately, on this team, he's a centerpiece guy. He's not good enough. So I thought Marcelo Mayer was breathing down his neck when they left camp, and Story had a good spring. So now he's playing worse. I'd get his ass out of here, but they won't.
They won't because they're too busy manipulating service time to try and get a draft pick out of a Rookie of the Year and save an extra year on Mayer and Roman Anthony.
Yeah, and look, again, there's an easier way to do this, too, without getting rid of Story. They could move Campbell over to first, bring Mayer up to play second. They've started the process on that. But again, I would say too late.
On Christian Campbell, Pete Abe writes that Campbell has hit 180 with a .478 OPS in his last 18 games and has 1 hit in his last 27 at-bats. Yeesh. Further complicating his life with the move to first base isn't going to help. So that's the next item. So what do you do with Christian Campbell at this time?
Well, they're not going to move him to first right away. They're going with that process slowly anyway. So I get it. They don't want to overburden him. He's going to be back at second base. He'll probably be there tonight.
Meanwhile, next item. The Red Sox should call a meeting with Rafi Devers and his agents and tell them he has 2 weeks to get ready to play first base. It should come as an order, not a request. If Mookie Betts can change positions to help the Dodgers put their best lineup on the field, Devers can do the same for the Red Sox. Thoughts?
My guess is some version of that meeting has already happened, and that was what Kansas City was about. Now, again, I don't think it was issued as an order, but I think they told him, look, we expect you to do what's right for the team. We invested in you. We set a standard here, and we want to live up to it. But
has Devers taken any grounders at first? Or?
Not that I'm aware of, but that's not always the be-all and end-all.
Who else could be standing in the way of that? I wonder.
Cora?
Besides the player. Yeah, he's backed him this whole time.
Maybe. I mean, again, that whole thing with Cora and Devers, that could not have gone well with ownership. There's no way that could have gone over well with ownership.
Meaning what?
Meaning that, your whole, the whole
You're supposed to be with us.
Bingo. Yeah, and you're supposed to facilitate and smooth over the bumps and the edges and get the guys to do what we need them to do, because that's the whole point of having you. So the fact that Henry had to fly out there, it can't be good for Cora.
Abe writes that that would open up a spot for Roman Anthony to come up from Worcester to DH and play the outfield. He says the Sox also should consider moving Jarren Duran out of the leadoff spot. His .316 on-base percentage is lower than every regular player other than Story and Ceddanne Rafaela. Thoughts on that?
Okay, so look, I love the idea of getting Anthony up here and playing him. Who doesn't? We all love that. Duran out of the leadoff spot? Fine. Again, no problem. Who's going to hit there, though? Like, I don't know that they have another guy.
Traditionally, I mean, now it's not the old model. Like, you don't need a guy to steal bases or run or anything like that.
No, someone who just gets on base.
Or just put your best hitter there.
Yeah. So I suppose if you want, you could put Devers there, but I don't know, like, then doesn't leave a hole in the middle of your lineup. You're 3-4-5 to begin the year, basically, was Devers. Well, it was Bregman because Devers hit second. But your 3 best hitters were Devers, Bregman, Casas, then Story. Casas is done. Story blows. Now Duran blows on top of it. So of your first 5 guys, only 2 of them really, although Duran's played better the last 5 days. If you like that clip, check out more videos from Felger and Mazz here. For more Red Sox analysis and opinion, hit this playlist. And for all the latest from the Sports Hub, download the app at 985thesportshub.com.